Hello, my name is Laurel Hammond,
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Sabine Feely.
and today we'll be presenting our health communication project, the Don't Wait, Get Tested campaign. So, our problem statement is that 18 to 24-year-olds in the United States are responsible for just over half of all new infections yearly in the United States. This infection rate is the highest of all developed high-income countries in the world, with a syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia being the most common. In 2018, Planned Parenthood recorded a record number of requests for tests and tests given for STIs. And then in 2015, over 90% of the demographic that described 18 to 24-year-olds used social media, used at least one form of social media in their day-to-day life. So our problem statement is we are aiming to use social media to encourage this demographic to get tested for STI infections.
So we have four main goals that we're going to focus on. For the process goal, it's by the end of the campaign, there will be established partnerships with Planned Parenthood to offer free discounted STI testing for individuals that are aged 18 to 24. We believe that this process objective will facilitate access to STI testing for our target population, and this is going to be achievable through partnerships with Planned Parenthood. Our knowledge objective would be that there will be a 15% increase of 18 to 24-year-olds who will be getting tested for STIs within the next 12 months. This is relevant because it will enhance the understanding of STI prevention and it will support testing behaviors. This can also be achievable using different social media campaigns. Our third goal is a belief goal, which is by the end of the campaign, at least 80% of the target audience will be able to identify three ways to prevent STI testing from our social media campaigns. And this will be achieved through engaging in the campaigns that highlight STI testings, which is the part of the responsible health practices. And our last goal, behavioral, within 6 months, there will be a 20% increase of our target audience, which is 18 to 24-year-olds who will believe that getting STI tested is the most beneficial and responsible thing to do as a healthy behavior. And through our targeted messaging and audience in these resources, this will directly address the behavior change of getting tested.
So the channels we're planning on using are social media, obviously, with a focus on Twitter, or it's now called X, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, as these are the most commonly used by this demographic. And the information we're planning on giving out is designed more for short form content, very quick. You see it, you internalize it a little bit, you go on with your day, that type of thing. Along with working with Planned Parenthood, as discussed earlier, as Planned Parenthood is commonly used by this demographic, as they tend to be, in college towns and areas like that, where they have access to this demographic. And they have worked with this demographic in relation to health communication campaigns for STI testing and information in the past. So we hope that this, they've already worked with groups trying to do what we're doing. This gives us a little bit of a foundation going in and allows them to get a little bit wider of an access to this audience than they already have.
Some of our message strategies, some things we want to do is definitely use social media and visual usage, being that our age demographic is on social media mostly every second of the day. So, STI testing will be presented on social media and on apps such as Instagram and TikTok, being that those are the most popular apps that are trending right now. During this time, we will present STI testing info through visual stories and polls to catch the audience's eye and make it easier to engage. We also want to address the stigma around STIs since there's a lot of fear of judgment or shame or lack of awareness or misconceptions and stereotypes about STIs. So we want to address it by education and awareness in order to reduce some of that fear. We also want to track our social media engagement, just making sure that our target audience is the one that is engaging the most, and whether that be from sharing or liking, reposting. We also want to share our testing experiences by creating hashtags. So someone could post something, use a hashtag STI testing so that others can be notified and reach it, and it could go viral since that's what social media is about now.
So these are some examples of the campaign materials we have. If you'll look on the left here, we have the Don't Wait, Get Tested logo. This was designed to be our logo for the campaign and to be used as the avatar on all of the social media platforms we're planning on using. Like I said earlier, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. It's cute, it's recognizable, it's the way it's designed draws the eye in. We're hoping that by using a simpler design with, there's two colors on it, that it draws the eye and it promotes recognizability among the audience. Like if they see one post on Instagram and they're like, okay, that's whatever, and then they see it later on their TikTok and be like, oh wait, I've seen something from them before. It allows that level of like recognition and like, oh, I'm familiar with that. They have good information. They say whatever, and then that way it's easier to share and with their friends, with their peers, and for it to go viral, like we said. And then on the right here, we have a flyer that would be distributed at a college campus or something local where a lot of the 18 to 24-year-olds are located. It's Be Mine, Love is in the Air. It's a Valentine's themed ad for our Instagram, which will show step-by-step information for how they can get tested in their area. And if it's a more local thing, obviously we can put more local information on there. This one's just kind of a blueprint. This one we designed in mind because, Valentine's Day, love is in the air, couples are out being couples, and this is promoting getting tested as a safe and healthy behavior for those couples to do. Not so much as like you're just protecting yourself, but you're protecting your partner, you're protecting anybody else. So this way it really helps reinforce the idea that this is a collaborative effort, that this is something to be done with other people in mind, not just yourself. We're hoping this helps it's Valentine's Day, it's cutesy, people look at it, but it also like gets them thinking a little bit about, how getting tested won't just affect them, it'll affect other people. And then, if a guy sees it and then he's like, oh, I'll go get tested, then, he could get his girlfriend to come with him. And then that's two people who got tested, for the price of one flyer.
So for our evaluation plan, this is just a written document that outlines how the program will be monitored and evaluated, as well as the results that we will find will be used to improve our program. So for the evaluations that will be conducted, we will conduct them during and they will be carried out after the program concludes. This will be done through post-test assessments. We'll hold polls through social media engagement and have post-test conclusion at the end of the campaign for participants to vocalize if they've been impacted through our campaign. We will also be pairing with local Planned Parenthoods, as mentioned before. This will help with the social media engagement analysis. And the goal with these evaluations are to measure the reach and impact of our target audience, as well as assessing the long-term changes in behaviors within this age group. Um, so here we have our evaluation plan table. It just has the top evaluations that we discussed earlier, which is the process and impact. So what we're assessing through the process evaluation is the amount of people that of our target audience that have been exposed to the health campaign, as well as measuring their engagement on social media. And we will do this by following up this with the social media engagements and finding the numbers within the existing plan. Um, Hopefully, by the end of the program, the partnership with Planned Parenthood will establish free or discounted STI testing, and the tools that we will use to measure these findings are Instagram and TikTok, as well as other social media sites like YouTube and now X. For our impact evaluation, we are going to be assessing if there's an increase in testing rates among our target audience after the program has concluded, as well as using post-test assessments that will be carried out immediately after the program is done to after the program is ended to determine the overall efficacy of our target audience. And the tools that we will use to measure these is we will gather information on appointment and testing increase through Planned Parenthood to understand if our program was effective.
And then these are our sources for, social media and for the numbers. Yeah, that's our presentation.